Okay, we go straight to the agenda then. Item 8, which is proposed development of land adjacent to Greenway House Parkway.
Thank you, Chairman. This application is for erection of a 3-storey industrial building formed of 8 self-contained units in use classes E, G and B8. So that's light industrial and storage and distribution, along with vehicle loading bays and car parking. I'll spin through the drawings. That one's a bit small. That's the site location plan. You can see it better when I get onto the existing site plan. That's an aerial image of the site, which is just to the south of the existing Greenway House building. These are site photos of Greenway House. You can see on the 2 left-hand photos the proposed access to the site, both from inside and outside the site. And on the right-hand side, the temporary hoarding around part of the Greenway House site. More photos of the actual application site, which is currently an unused car parking area. These photos show the Greenway Business Centre development to the south of the application site. That's a slightly bigger drawing there, so you can see the red line immediately to the south of Greenway House and to the north of the Greenway Business Centre. To the west is the Bid Foods depot on the other side of Greenway. So that's the proposed block plan, so you can see the proposed development in there. Just going through the other drawings, existing site plan, proposed ground floor plan, so showing the loading bay and work area on the ground floor, with showing the vans at the front along with car parking spaces. First floor is office space on all of the 8 units, and at second floor is a storage area. The roof plan showing the green sedum roof proposed and some solar PV on the southern part of the roof. And these are the elevations. So the top is the south, which would be facing towards the Greenway Business Park. North below that, obviously showing the loading bay doors. Greenway House is shown below that. And then the on the right-hand side, the flank in the section shown there. Going to some of the technical highways drawings now, this is just showing the access and that the required visibility displays can be achieved in both directions. The site is quite tight in terms of vehicle manoeuvring, but these drawings show that the swept path analysis can be achieved for all vehicle types, so starting with a normal car, small vans, and a refuse vehicle can get in and out of the site as well. I added in a couple of extra drawings compared to the published presentation just to show some of the tree protection and landscaping details. So this drawing was an early iteration of the design, and the building was actually moved in from both sides of the site to allow for tree protection of existing trees outside of the site, and I think there's 1 tree inside the site on the west side as well. And then again, this is just a bit of landscaping and biodiversity net gain detail. Obviously the sedum roof forms part of that contribution, and then along the west side there's proposed to plant some additional trees to bolster the existing tree screen, and some other planting, wildflower meadow down there, and other landscaping. That's indicative at this stage. There is a condition requiring further details of soft landscaping to be submitted. So the application is recommended for approval subject to the conditions set out in the report. It's acceptable in terms of the principle, which is an employment development in an employment allocated employment area, and in terms of design, character and appearance, amenity and parking and highways. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Guy. Members, questions or clarifications? No?
I feel there ought to be at least one question.
Yep, I've got one as well.
Yeah, so I noticed in the history given on page 7 that, well, there is quite an interesting history associated with this area. And I assume that Greenway House is what I was told is permitted development. I know there are other terms involved. That is using an office block for housing purposes, and then subsequent similar applications were refused. So, of course, if you're me, your antennae tend to start flapping about, maybe unnecessarily, and I know what you're thinking, focus on the application right here, right now. So my question is about the recommendations. I noticed that you've mentioned the trees, noise level has been covered, lighting, cycle, parking, electric charging points. Is there something about solar panels somewhere? Have I missed that? Is it embedded somewhere? Should we have a separate recommendation? Is that possible regarding the inclusion of solar panels?
There isn't a condition relating specifically to the solar panels, but they are shown on the drawings and detailed in the sustainability documents. So they are bound by those documents. Yes.
So the trees on the frontage, they're all retained, there's no damage to those, and in fact you're putting additional planting on the inside of the fence there. Is that right?
Yes, along the western flank, there's a substantial tree buffer already, and there would be 4 trees proposed inside on the application site to bolster that. So that would soften in terms of views from the street scene.
Yep. That's the first one. I think you've already answered the second. So the entrance is as existing. I was on site today, so the existing entrance will be the same entrance.
That's right. It's obviously blocked off at the moment, but the access to the site would be the green.
Not very well blocked off. It's full of so much tut in there.
Yeah.
It'll take a month to clear it.
Yeah.
But the other one is light spillage onto Greenway House. Have we got enough protection for the residents of Greenway House? You mentioned all sorts of things about lighting, but not as a protected against the Greenway. Because looking at your picture, I thought there was some rooms facing the development.
Yeah. There is a lighting condition at condition 16.
Yeah. So you'll keep it under that. You'll protect the spillage of lighting into their premises, so to speak.
Yes.
So I suppose although the hours of use. Major concerns, So yeah, I think that was all my questions. Anybody got any? James.
Thank you, Chair. I've looked through all. This application is subject to quite a substantial number of conditions, about 26, and I've looked through them. Given them a good perusal. And actually, lighting is mentioned in 16. I think that was mentioned, but it seems to cover virtually any concern I think anyone could have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I did pick up on that as well, because you've got lots of trees and protection, which as is known on site, is there? There's no trees on site. Is that something we put in automatically?
Well, there is a requirement for the applicant to meet their biodiversity net gain needs, and so part of that would be the additional tree planting down the western boundary.
Yeah, but a lot of it goes on. Well, I suppose you don't know what's there, do you? Looking at it's a car park.
Yeah.
There's probably unlikely to be bats or foxes or anything like that. But then you've got a habitat management monitoring plan. Have we got one of those, or they're not required?
Yes, there's the habitat monitoring condition related to BNG.
Yeah. So they can put some boxes up.
Yeah, and biodiversity enhancements as well.
Yep,
So
yep.
so bat boxing and that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. We've got the working hours, I think, so we're covered there. Anybody? Any more questions? No. Debate?
I think one important thing is bearing in mind that it is close to an existing residential site. One of the conditions, important one, is that it should basically involve office use or very light assembly works. So it's not going to be loud to disturb the neighbours. Well, I think that should be taken into account.
Carl, you want to comment on that?
Yeah, I mean, we have taken care to restrict the use to Class EG, which is light industry, office or research and development, given the proximity to the residential at Greenway House. And as he also picked up, we've got the conditions limiting the opening hours, delivery hours and refuse pick up to 7 to 7 weekdays and 8 to 5 on weekends, in order to protect the amenity of those neighbours.
I think it's one of those difficult ones, isn't it? Because you've got a residential block in the middle of an industrial area. So which comes first? So I think what the officers have done is a compromise to limit the noise and light that would spill onto Greenway House to the residents as best we can. But there's going to be noise, there's going to be lorries, and there already is, isn't there? Because it's a major employment area. Any more discussions? No, no. So we'll go. Oh, Matthew, sorry.
Yes, sir. Having been around that area quite a lot, as it's in my ward, there's a lot of flourishing businesses in that area that are doing, and they are very small units. There's bakeries around there. There's other such small textile outfits out there that do customised clothing and things like that. So again, these are additional to the needs of all the units that are already there. And I was quite pleased when I saw the plans. They've got solar panels on there. They've got a living roof, I think the term is now, that is really sort of trying to step up the current sort of ecological, although it's an industrial unit, it's trying to be as green as it can. I think it's promoting smaller businesses to operate in Harlow. It's in an area where Public Health England are moving to, not too far away. You've got Bidfood, you've got Amazon, you've got a few other of the bigger units round the corner. So it's quite a thriving area, and I think it's a good thing to see the bar being raised on what is expected of an industrial unit in sort of the ecosystem and the net gain, and somewhere that I think smaller businesses in Harlow will want to take on and rent out pretty quickly.
I think it's almost a seedbed centre, isn't it? I think they used to call them seedbed centres. So you can go from this to a bigger unit, and so they can move on, which is if the rent is right. So, okay, no more discussions then. Nobody wants to, so we go to page 22, where the recommendation is to grant permission. All those in favour? Unanimous? Thank you.